Hello dear students, welcome back to my YouTube channel Physiology Learning. Today we are going to continue a little bit concept about the blood pressure regulation only. We have done all the regulatory part. Today we are going to discuss a special topic that is known as the Goldblatt hypertension. As such, I would say for the UG level this is not that much important because very few universities will ask this question. Rest for postgraduates I will tell this is still important, and at the same time these are experimental studies which are done long before, so this is one concept. I would rate it this video as not that very important, but you can gain some of the knowledge. But before going to that low blood hypertension, what is the hypertension? All of you know that whenever there is a rise in the blood pressure, it is called hypertension, and generally they are classified into primary and secondary. If the hypertension is happening without any cause or any unknown origin, then it is called primary or essential hypertension. The other causes, suppose there is a renal artery stenosis or some other causes or a tumor which is secreting adrenal hormones, those type of causes will come into the secondary type of hypertension. So primary, it is also called essential hypertension and it is of unknown origin. And one of the most common causes that has been suggested these days is one is the weight gain and sedentary lifestyle. So why these sedentary lifestyle and weight gain is causing these factors? In these people, they have the propensity to develop hypertension because of the few characteristic features which are inbuilt in them. One of them is the cardiac output. Whenever there is an increased body surface area, so the cardiac output has to be increased to meet the increased demands of the body as well as the larger organs. Next thing is, in some of them, it has been observed that the sympathetic nervous system activity itself is increased. So if the sympathetic system activity itself is increased, then naturally the blood pressure also will be increased. Next, in some people, there has been a rise in angiotensin and aldosterone levels. In the previous video, in long term, we saw that the angiotensin and aldosterone, they can cause two things. One is the vasoconstriction, and another one, they can also cause water retention. So because of these two features, the patient is developing hypertension. And the renal pressure natriuresis. Suppose whenever there is an increased pressure, there should be elimination of the sodium along with water in the urine. If this is impaired, then also the patient will develop hypertension. So these are the probable causes of developing primary hypertension. Now let's get into the Goldblatt hypertension, the experimental aspects. Now coming to the Goldblatt hypertension, this experiment was done by a scientist. He did two things. There is one kidney Goldblatt hypertension and two kidney Goldblatt hypertension. Now all of us know that whenever there is a decrease in pressure to the kidneys or there is a hypovolemia or hypotension to the kidney, renin will be produced. But during the time of these experiments, they are the ones who identified whenever there is a fall in the BP levels to the kidney, there is rise in one particular hormone and they labeled it as renin. So right now you might think that it's everybody knows that it is because of the renin, but this experiments only help to understand that there is one substance which is produced which is increasing the blood pressure. So in one kidney Goldblatt hypertension, what they did is they removed one of the kidney. One kidney is completely removed and the other kidney they put a clamp in the other kidney, like a small knob which can constrict the renal artery. So this renal artery is constricted now. Because of this constriction, what will happen to the pressure here? The pressure here or the volume that is supplied here, that is going to be decreased. Whenever there is a decrease in the BP to the kidney, what is going to happen? We know that the juxtaglomerular cells will sense it and they will produce the renin. So there will be decrease in the BP to the kidney and there will be an increase in renin, which is increasing the blood pressure. And they have seen that there is increase in one particular substance in the blood. So as you can see from this graph, the above graph is a pressure indicator. And in this they have indicated two pressure. One is the systemic arterial pressure and distal renal artery pressure. After the constriction, what is the pressure? So now we are doing the renal artery constriction. So let's understand this graph. So whenever the renal artery is constricted at this point of time, what will happen to the pressure or the blood flow to the renal? That is going to fall down. So the dashed lines is coming down. But with the production of renin, what is going to happen to the systemic pressure? The systemic pressure is going to increase. So the red dotted curve, which I am going to highlight now, so this part is increasing. The renal pressure is falling, but the systemic pressure is increasing because of renin and the aldosterone that is produced. Then after that, slowly the renal pressure will try to come up and up and up, because now the systemic pressure is increasing, so naturally they will try to perfuse the renal system. And finally, when the constriction is released, what is going to happen? The constriction is immediately released. Now the blood flow to the kidney is going to rise, so the renal arterial pressure is going to shoot up. When the renal arterial pressure is established, what is going to happen to the systemic pressure? The systemic pressure is going to come down. So now there will be a reverse action which is happening in the renal system and the systemic pressure. And in the systemic system, arterial pressure, if you see, the first there is an increase, and followed by that the increase is still happening more and more and more. So this immediate rise is nothing but our intermediate control of mechanism, which we have already seen in blood pressure regulation also. That is nothing but it is because of the aldosterone. Aldosterone, which is going to cause vasoconstriction. And why is this the later rise is happening? The second part of the rise. This later rise is because of the fluid retention. Fluid retention. That is sodium as well as water reabsorption done by the aldosterone mechanisms. So there is an immediate rise followed by a later rise. Then what is happening to the renin secretion? As you can see here, the days it is written and times the number of normals. So the 1 is considered 1 times, and the levels can increase up to 5-6 times also, as we can see from this graph. So what is happening to the renin secretion? As soon as the artery is constricted, the renin level is increasing and increasing and increasing. And slowly when the renal arterial pressure starts to increase because of the systemic increase in renal pressure, the renin levels are going to fall down and down. So whenever the renal system is perfused, renin secretion is going to come down. Next, they have done second experiment, that is 2 kidney Goldblatt hypertension. In this, what was happening is the one kidney is constricted, the other kidney is not done anything, it is still intact in the body, and they are seeing when 2 kidneys are there, how is the response. When one kidney is getting constricted, what will happen to that kidney? We already know there is an increase in systemic pressure, increase in renin production, increase in the retention of sodium and water. And this kidney is going to produce renin and aldosterone and angiotensin. But whatever aldosterone and angiotensin is produced, that doesn't know that it has to act only on this kidney. It will go to both the kidneys. So what is going to happen? It will go and travel to the other kidney also, and they will cause sodium and water retention. Because of this sodium and water retention, both the kidneys are doing it. So the patient's BP is going to rise too much. The patient both will become salt retainers and they will develop hypertension. So in 2 kidney, what is happening is the compounds which are produced by one kidney is going to act on the other kidney, and the effect is going to be very, very severe. And clinically, you can see this type of raised BP in some of the secondary hypertension, which is caused by renal artery stenosis. Renal artery stenosis. Whenever there is a renal artery stenosis, again, all these things we have discussed. The artery is now stenosed, so the blood supply to the kidney is decreased. So there is an increase in the renin, angiotensin, aldosterone system. There is an increase in blood pressure causing hypertension. So this is all about the Goldblatt hypertension. I hope this was clear. Thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned for more such videos. Thank you so much.